It's a good afternoon. Today marks the third day of April 2025, being on a Thursday. Welcome to Mboni News Broadcast. My name is Gikeri Gabriel, and this is the interview segment. To become interesting, hosting none other than Karanja Joseph, alias the Wise Man. Today's talk is very controversial. In the campus diaries, let's scrutinize the so-called university politics. Let's dive in. Welcome, sir, to Mboni News Broadcasts. To start with, could you briefly introduce yourself and give us a brief profile of your background?
Thank you so much, Bwana Gikeri Gabriel, and thank you for having me. My name is Karanja Joseph. I am a fourth-year student in the Department of Humanities, pursuing Bachelor's in Arts, Criminology and Security Studies, and I've gained experience in politics. I've been in politics for a good time, from first year up to now fourth year. I've vied in positions, male departmental delegate, humanities department 2 times, won all the time. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Joseph, they say that politics is a dirty game, but my view, it's a mind game. What's your take on that?
I would say politics is messy and not necessarily dirty. The dirt part of it comes in when people prioritize self-interest over collective interest of the people that they want to serve. So it's not necessarily dirty, it's messy.
Thank you, sir, on that. And I understand and believe that we have just come from a political period. What would you say was the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere was vibrant but polarized. We had people coming out supporting their candidates, supporting people who they wanted to be in positions. So it is vibrant but polarized, because at the end of the day, we have students who want real issues to do with payment of fees, academics, representation. So it sparks a debate, and sometimes it can be messy.
Yeah. Interesting. What would you say? Because I believe that the delegate system is what most of the universities use in the election. What will you say about that?
Actually, it's not most of the universities. It is all the universities in Kenya. There was an act of parliament which made it that for students' election, we use the delegate system. I would not say it's a very good system, because students nowadays, from when the delegate system was introduced, they don't get the active chance to choose their leaders, that is in the Big 7, directly. So I hope in the near future we are going to have another act of parliament and bring the democracy to students' hands and ensuring that student voices are heard.
Given an opportunity, will you change the delegate system, and probably what will you bring in to make the elections transparent?
Given an opportunity, I would ensure that we go back to the system that we had.
The one man, one vote.
One man, one vote. That system ensures that there is correct representation of the students.
Don't you feel like as if probably in case the people's president fails, in case the system are manipulated, don't you feel like it will bring a lot of commotion in the university?
Even this delegate system brings a lot of commotion. So in terms of Whether that system will bring commotion or not, it's a matter of how election will be conducted by the committee that is responsible for election. So it's not a matter of the system itself, it's a matter of how are they conducting the election. Is it transparent enough? Is it fair enough? That's what we should focus on, and not according to the system. Because in recent years, we had, I can give you an example, we had leaders like Babu Owino, Dende Nyoro, you can name them. These are leaders who were student leaders. Example, Babu Owino was a student leader in University of Nairobi. And he came up to be a very big politician in Kenya. He is a big politician, a respected politician, and it is because, I believe it is because of how he traversed in the university election. Because the people at that time, they were given a chance to elect a leader, and it was in direct democracy, one man, one vote. So I hope in the near future that we are going to have that system back.
So saying that the university politics have a very huge impact to national politics, or what's your point?
Not very huge, but they have an impact. They have an impact on national politics because the leaders, mostly the leaders that we are going to get here, are going now to transit to the national politics.
According to the turnout of the votes in the former or in the previous election, do you feel like students in the Great University of Embu are politically active?
The turnout is low. I can say the turnout is low, so they are not very active. And this brings us to the question that you had asked about the system. I believe if students, and this is a matter of discussion in parliament, because it's an act of parliament, it's not university based, it's an act of parliament, it's a Kenyan policy that the system is like that. But I feel if students will get a chance of one man, one vote, we will have relatively active, the students will be active in politics.
Still measuring on the same point about our e-voting system, I realized that the university have used it for quite a number of years. Does it have any good impact, or has it caused mayhem in the university?
The e-voting system has been used since when I was in first year. Probably it was used even before I came. It's a good system, one of the best systems. And we must accept that we are living in the 21st century, and technology is a major part of us. So I will encourage, the e-voting system is good because students, because if we say it will be ballot voting now, not the online voting, or rather blended, we will not get a chance. There are some students who will not get a chance to vote, like students who are far away from the school, students who don't want to come to school at that particular day. So the e-voting system is good, but I'm not saying that it should not be upgraded. There should be some corrections which should be done to ensure that the system works efficiently and effectively.
Do you feel as if there has been any system leak in the previous elections?
I have no evidence to prove that. So,
do you feel as if anybody could be able to manipulate our system?
I have no evidence on that. I will not answer that.
Thank you, sir. To run on the other side on the student leadership, majorly, I understand that we have various positions in the Big Seven, and also the delegates in the various departments or in the various schools. What roles do student leaders play?
Thank you so much for that question. Student leaders play a very vital role in the university, in ensuring that the welfare of the students is catered for. The primary role of student leaders is representation, because we cannot live without representation. We have the administration. For administration to know what we are going through, to know what students want, they must have representation, and this representation we are getting it from the student leaders. So the primary role is representation, and from representation, that's where we'll get now policy formulations from the student leaders. That's where we'll get advocacy from them. Yeah.
So do you think that the student leaders effectively represent the students?
Effectively, maybe I base from previous governments that have been there. We've had administrations, and in terms of effectiveness, it has not been so effective, because if you use the word effective, for something to be effective, it means that all the grievances raised by the students will be heard in the administration. And we've not been able to reach at that point that all the grievances that we as students have raised, they have been addressed by the management. But again, we cannot say that it's not all the grievances that have not been addressed. We have had very many instances where student leaders have advocated for what students want. Example, in 2020, when retake fee was 8,900, Enoch reduced it to 2,000. In 2021, or rather 2022, when students were allowed to sit for exams, we were having arrears. So I can say they play a critical role, but it all comes down to the negotiation power of sorry for that. It all comes down in the negotiation power of the student leader that we have. How is he going to negotiate? How is he going to engage with the management? How is the student just going to lobby for what the students want?
Wow, that's an interesting point. I've heard that you've talked of the year 2020, 2021. Recently, is it that the governments are not working for the comrades, or where is the big problem?
The big problem, or rather the problem that we've had, it's what I had said. How are student leaders negotiating for us? Do they have that power to negotiate for us? Do they know how to negotiate well for us? Sorry. Do they know how well to negotiate for us? So, as of now, or the previous government that we had Enoch Webb in 2020. He played his part. He negotiated well. I can rank him high. He brought in policies which students were happy with them. Ogola, I rate him high on the list. Ogola, the lion himself. And then we had Kiprop. And then Kaudo. Yeah.
Wow. To rush a little bit back to the issue to do with the representation of our comrades in the administration. Do you think that the university supports or suppresses the student activism?
I would say it supports, but they set boundaries. They set boundaries because I cannot say it does not fully support, because they give us platforms where we air our issues. They give us a chance to elect student leaders. So up to that extent, they support, but they set boundaries because we cannot protest here. We cannot be destructive. So they support, but they have boundaries.
Do you feel like the boundaries are effective? Are they helpful, or are they there to just block the students from getting to their rights?
It is a two-way answer, because without the boundaries, probably the school will end up in chaos. And also, from another point of view, with the boundaries, some students will feel like they are not getting the chance to, for example, to protest. They are not getting the chance, but the boundary is important. Yeah.
Well, still on the same, measuring on the same points, how does the university administration handle political expression, mostly among the students?
Yeah, we've not had many cases, but the few cases that we've had, in the 4 years that I've been here, I've not heard of any student who have gone home because of election-related issues. So I feel like they listen to the student and they know how to they effectively handle them. I don't have an exclusive answer on that.
So that we can leave now on the position of politics and election. What requirements should the students meet to be able to vie for those positions?
The delegates, I can start with the delegates. In the delegates, mostly what we want is the grade, an average of B. If you have an average of B, it will be important, and you will vie. In the Big Seven, also the same, because we also the most critical thing is the grade, because I don't think if you have any disciplinary issue, you will then proceed to vie for elective posts. So the minimum requirement: have a good grade, have a grade B, vie for either the delegate position or the council position. That is the Big Seven. Yeah, and when you vie, it's another long journey for you, between you, the time you vied, and the time you will win. You will be declared a winner.
Wow, how are the so-called coalitions formed to get the Big Seven probably into a single coalition, or differently?
That's a very good question. Coalition, there is a very long, tedious process. I've once been in that process of forming a coalition, and there are very, very many factors. Very many factors that are considered, very many factors that are looked into when forming a coalition. The department, which department are you coming from? Because for a coalition to be very successful, or to be relatively successful, we want people from diverse department. And in talking of diversity, we also want people from diverse communities. We also want people who can be able to move the crowd, to talk to the crowd. So the formation, it's a long process, but at the end of the day, it comes down to how you as an individual, you are relating to other people who are vying. For example, you want the position of the chair. If you want the position of the chair, you must have a following. You must have people who are also vying and probably want the seat that you want. You must have them as your allies, so that you will form a coalition with them.
Does that mean that the coalition system, at times it appears as if it's tribalic? What's your take on that?
Good question. I can say that tribe plays a very critical factor.
So generally, the university politics are tribal.
I would say that generally they are tribal, but the tribal card is very important when forming a coalition.
In what way?
In these ways, I'll give you 2 ways. The first thing is that this is a university, and we must have representation from probably not all the tribes, but from a coalition should not have all the people from the same tribe. Are we together up to that point? Now, the second point is that people, we know the students, all of us, we've come from somewhere. We value ethnicity. Ethnicity is part of us. So it will be very easy for me as Karanja to be heard in the mountain than any other community. So I will ensure that I bring in the votes from the mountain. Let me give you an example of our brothers from the lakeside. They are very united. They support their people. So the tribal politics, the tribal card, it is important because when you have a person from a lower community, you know that you will get their loyalty. So it is important up to that point. I can say it is 70 or rather 60% tribal.
So generally you say that the tribal card is important.
Yeah, it's important.
And in the recent politics, majorly, sometimes we always have mayhem because of various tribes working together. Some call it betrayal. Immediately after elections, probably a team has not won, only a single member who has lost. How does it affect? In recent past, in the last 2 years, or rather 3 years, we've had because even in Ogola's time, there was the female representative who was voted in did not come from the coalition that won, but her case is special because she vied unopposed. So in 2024, in 2025, we've had people from different coalition winning, and this is what I'll say in that. It's not much of betrayal because we have e-voting system. We have students who are voting in CH, opposed to last year's where we had students voting from wherever they want, so wherever they wish to vote for. So here we have privacy, and I would like to say this, and to every person who wants to buy to any coalition that will be formed in the near future, that according to how the system is, delegates I can say they have become wise in a way. They will ensure that they elect the most competent, not in a coalition. They will not focus as much as we will have many other factors influencing the choice or the decision of the delegates. The competence of the candidate vying will play a critical role from now up to when if the system remains constant, because we will have a delegate alone in CH. He will make a decision. He will not see a coalition. He will see an individual. If it's the chairperson position, he will not see coalition A, coalition B. He will see individual A, individual B. So let us not call it betrayal. Let us say it is the choice of the delegates. Let us say that it is the delegates choosing among many factors the most competent leader. And recently, do you think that our previous election was free and fair?
Election is a process. Election is a process from that starts way before, from picking the nomination form, filling in announcement of the successful nominees, to the campaign period, election. So we had an election 3 weeks ago. The election results were announced.
The question is, was it free and fair?
I want to answer you. I want to follow a certain before I answer you. So the election were announced. We had people who were not really contented with the elections, and the election is a process. After that, they proceeded to the next process, which is the appeals, and then the verdict was given, and everyone went home happy.
From your end, was it free and fair? Now, apart from it being from other members so who are vying, from your end, was it free and fair? You are there, you followed everything from the beginning to the end of the process. Do you think that the elections were free and fair?
You're putting me on the spot, but I would say according to how the process was followed, it was fair, but there are some changes that need to be put on the system in the process of election. We need to have some improvement.
So, about the changes, does it reflect a part in the fairness? Ama, you still dwelling on the? I want to know whether the elections were really fair. Ama, there is any other response to that?
I've said the election that were conducted according to the process, according to how they are conducted, they were conducted in the right way. But we had some discrepancies here and there. We had some, I've said there are some things that needs improvement.
What are these things? What are these discrepancies that needs improvement?
For example, the system did not work up to around 12. We need to have an efficient system that works from 8. So we need to have a system that will be cross-checked before the election. The way that the elections are conducted. So I don't want to dwell much into that. So according to me, the election was fair according to the process, but there needs to be some improvement.
So it was not free.
It was free.
Mm-hmm.
It was free and fair, but we need to have some improvement.
Oh, wow.
And some fine tuning.
There is the so-called hiding of delegates. I've heard of such a complaint before. Does it affect the politics?
I will not advise a coalition, and this is if the system remains constant. I will not advise anyone to hide a delegate, because at the end of the day, no matter how you hide a delegate, probably you hide him or her for 2 weeks or 1 week. At the end of the day, he or she is going to vote alone in CH without supervision. So the best thing for you to do as a candidate, the best thing for you to do as a strategist is to advise your candidates to talk well to the delegate, to ensure that the delegate who you feel that is going to vote for you wins, because that's another important thing in the US election.
Mentioning of something important that you've talked about, the strategists. In any way, are they bringing any impact in our elections in the university?
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can say this without any fear of doubt or contradiction. The coalitions are formed by strategists. In most cases, it is now the candidate who abides to what the strategists tell him. They tell him you're going to go for position A, B, C.
So the candidates are not in the what you can say the independence in decision making.
What do you mean by decision making? Decision making in terms of
the position they will go for, the coalition they'll join, because you've clearly stated that those who are behind the formation of coalition and they are the guiders for the students who are vying to go in various positions. That means there is no independence in decision making for a delegate to vie for any position.
There is independence, because at the end of the day, The strategies, we've had very many cases in the past, and I'm talking this out of experience. We've had cases where a strategist has told a particular candidate that you have to vie for position A, B, for position A, and the candidate does not follow that, and he goes to his own path. So at the end of the day,
will he be supported by the same strategy? So
no,
there will be a change of path.
I think there will be a change of path, because I think when a strategist decides on you have to go for this and not that, he has a reason why he's doing that. So probably if you go against him, you will go in another coalition. And if you go in another coalition, then he's not going to support you in most cases.
Still enforcing on the same point, they are the so-called elders. Do they bring any impact of the societal communities?
I said that most elders become strategists, but not all elders are strategists, and not all strategists are elders. But the elders play a critical role by ensuring that the candidate that they will support will not only be supported by them, but will also be supported by the whole community.
And now, don't you think that affects our politics, whereby now it does not become a game of competency, it becomes a game of tribe?
To that extent, I can agree with you, but these are my reservations. What do we measure competence with? Probably. That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. What do we measure competence with? Because first, this is a candidate who has good grades, right? And there are many candidates who want to vie for a particular seat. So I think most elders will go and pick the most competent one, the most loyal to, and the candidate who can be supported by the whole community.
Wow. Previously, have you faced any pressure to align with a particular political ideology?
Yes, I have.
How did you cope with that?
At the end of the day, we will have very many pressure to support a particular candidate. Maybe he's coming from where you are coming, he's coming from your department, he's from your tribe, he's your friend, he's from where you live. But at the end of the day, you ask how I coped with that. How I coped with that as an individual, I supported the candidate who I deemed the most fit for that position.
So, have you ever felt as if the politics in the university have impacted your academic negatively?
Negatively?
Or rather, how has it impacted your life?
Personally, it has helped me. It has helped me with skills of leadership. It has also encouraged me academically, because at the end of the day, you are a leader. And one important thing as a leader and one important aspect is modeling. And in modeling, we do modeling in very many instances, and academics is one of them. You want to lead people because this is academic. We are here because of academics. Because the people I want to lead, I want to show them that even in the core business that we have in the university, I am excelling in it. So that it's based upon how a candidate himself will handle him or herself when given the position to lead. We've had many leaders. We've had leaders in the past who were carried away by their leadership and forgot that they are supposed to study well. We had them who did not get good honors, and we also have leaders who took that positively, worked hard, and also excelled in their studies. I can give you an example of Tracy Kawira, SecGen 2020-2021. She got a first class honors in the School of Law. So that's she's a perfect example of you can be a leader, perform your tasks as a leader, represent your students, and also do well in academics.
Congratulations to Tracy Kawira. Wherever you're working, you did a good job. On the next question, do you feel as if students have the freedom to express their political views in the university?
Relatively, yes, because we are given a chance to elect leaders of our choice, and these leaders go on to represent us. So having that, lobby with the management and ensure that the student grievances are heard.
Wow. Do you have any political events, or do you feel as if national political events affect the university politics?
Not to a larger extent, because it's an indirect vote. It's an indirect vote, so we will not have much of the national government. Yeah.
Oh wow, that is nice. Do you have any political leader who you know have probably transitioned from university politics to national politics?
University of Bembo, I've not heard of one in the political life, but I've heard many who are politicians and are out there doing constructive things in this country, and who have good jobs in this country. But in general, we will have the likes of Babu Owino, Bende Nyoro, name them.
Do you feel as if they are bringing any impacts to our national politics?
Yeah, they do. They do. And when I mention Babu Owino, that clicks, because there is an impact that Babu Owino, Bende Nyoro are bringing.
Do you think that the courage or the confidence that they gained in the university politics have influenced them?
Sure. And it is said, it is a theory that is said, and it is said that if they had not been student lead where they are today, so how they handled themselves when they were student leaders, how they engaged the administration, how they engaged with other leaders of that time, helped them, boosted their confidence, and also give them the leadership skills.
Wow. What advice will you give any student who wants to join the university politics?
First, the most important thing, ensure that you study, you get good grades, ensure that you are a student who do not have discipline issues, that you have a following, very important in politics. You must have a following of a kind. Ensure that you can be able to fight for the interest of the comrades. Ensure that you are a person who is accountable. You are a student who is selfless. For you to serve the comrades, you must be a selfless person.
In conclusion, what is the process of that the students need to follow probably to vie for various positions as we put or come to a conclusion of the interview?
For example, the delegate, which position?
Any position, probably holding in the Big Seven or in the delegate system.
Probably I'll say let me say the chair. As the chair, you meet the minimum requirements, that is the grade, the discipline, and also you will need to have finances, because they will be important when you are vying because of the logistics and stuff. You will also need to, this is before even is formed, you'll need to have allies who can support you, allies who can be there for you, allies who you can call at any time, and they will be there to stand with you. And also, very important, ensure that you engage the students and talk to the delegates well. That is the most important thing.
Thank you, sir. As we conclude, kindly give your remarks and probably advise your young
Advise my younger Joseph.
politically in terms of lifestyle generally.
Yeah, I was saying, as you've said, advise my younger Joseph. I'm thinking of probably 2024 when I and there are some things which I didn't do that costed me a lot, but I would like to advise anyone who will vie, or anyone who have ambitions to lead the students. First, you have to ensure that you have the interest of comrades at heart. That is the most important things. When you will have that, all the other things now will come. You will get a good coalition, you will get good people around you. But the most important thing, and what comrades want, I want to speak on the behalf of the comrades. Comrades want leaders who can represent them, leaders who can be selfless, leaders who will not be swayed by either the administration or the pressure the pressure that comes in with leadership. They want leaders who can represent them with professionalism, leaders who can be called that these leaders are leaders who went over and above to ensure that they represent the students and they champion the interests of the comrades.
Thank you, sir. That has been Joseph Karanja Mainge, a former student leader in the USA. And this has been the interview segment. Remember, tomorrow being on 4th of April, we shall be having the tree planting starting from 2 p.m. And also we shall have at a hellboard all the way in the Charter Hall starting from 9 to 12 p.m. And as I conclude, allow me to shout out to some few people. Emilio Kimadi says that is my class rep. Dennis Madea says that we talk about the elections. Titus Kilo says it's a good job and receives greetings from the political mentor, General Obadia. Thank you so much. That has been the Mbuni News Broadcast. Have a good afternoon.